This is going to be replacing bank 2 sensor 1 on my wife's Honda Odyssey. The previous video we replaced bank 2, which is underneath. This one should be easier, provided that I can get it out, because bank 2 sensor 1 is that. But I gotta unplug it from the connector, which is there, and I got it started. But the key is you gotta find the tab, and then it'll come out pretty easily. There's two of them, one that holds it to the block and one that holds the wires together. So I'm gonna see what I can get from this, from doing this. I mean, what I can get filmed. So. You gotta get the O2 sensor out with this socket. So I may have to take out the reservoir or something, or get it in from here with an extension. We'll see. There, got it. Had to have the offset part for the O2 sensor socket to be in a certain spot so I could get my two extensions out. And then this part of the sensor socket had to be in a certain spot for me to reach it. So there we go. Now we got to put the new one in, and it just screws in, and then we plug it in. How these O2 sensor sockets work is they go in like this, and then you can stick your extension in there and you can turn it. That's the new one. The old one, here's the new one. You may not be able to see through the bag, but the socket looks the same, the plug. Okay, looking at these socket O2 sensors, the one on my right hand with this plastic cover, that's the new one. So when we compare them, they're about the same length. And the plug looks the same, because they'll change it how the plug is to make sure you don't put something in the wrong one. So in the video description I'll have some pictures, diagrams that I've pulled off the internet to tell you where it goes. But it goes right there where my finger is. So, and you always want to start these by hand. This does come with some NICs already on the sensor. You don't want to get the sensor dirty, avoid oil, but that is NICs. So you want to put this in my hand and then tighten it down. I've got a cut on my finger, my left finger, that on my index finger. It makes it a little bit difficult to squeeze anything with. So you fumble around with it and you get it in. So you get finger tight, and then you cinch it down with like a quarter turn with the O2 socket sensor. The O2 socket. Let's plug it in here, and then plug it. I don't know if you can see it. This is that's the socket. I mean, that's the pigtail it goes into right there. So I just gotta plug them together, and then this thing lives. There's a little thing it slides into right. Let me see. Right here. You can't see it because it's behind the oil. Actually, right there. This is how I was able to get it in. To extend, which is actually how I got it out. Except I had to turn the O2 socket upside down, and then arrange it so that the part where the extension fits into was right there. I just needed to turn it a quarter turn after finger tight. So let's go see if those codes will. I'm in the car. Got my scanner here. Let's enter into OBD2. Read codes. 2247 and 154. There used to have those two repeated, but whatever. So let's go ahead and turn it on and see if they go away. And before you start the car, always make sure all your tools are not in the engine bay. And yeah, all mine are put up. And I'll go over what tools I used. Okay, the check engine light's still on, but the car started. Let's go take a look at things. Well, actually, let me just see if I can get this. There we go. I got the sun behind me. So what I'm going to do is erase the codes and let's see if they come back. Check engine light is not on. Let's go to OBD2. I'm gonna zoom out on my here. Let's go to O2 sensor test and test bank 2 sensor 1. Pass. 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 Oops. And the last one is a pass. So according to my scanner, this car, I just got to drive it to go through a drive cycle, and this car will pass emissions now here in where I live. And let's take a look at some live data. Let me see if I can get some live data on the sensor. Our data stream. Let me select. Let's just view all items. So we want to look at bank 2 sensor 1. That's bank 1 sensor 1. Here we go. That looks like it's working now. Oh, here it is. Oxygen sensor current. Bank 2 sensor 1. There. That looks like it was working. It's working now. So that's some good signs. Later tubes. As you see, it's not too hard to change one of those. You just have to have the right tools. So this is everything I use. This is the new socket. I mean the new O2 sensor. This socket, specialized socket. You can also use a different one. Some wrenches, sockets, and extensions. I did at one point use a 7/8 wrench a little bit, and this shorter socket wrench here. And here's the old sensor. So later tubes.